Coffee and convo, y'all. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raiders. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. Make sure you guys wipe them feet. That means get those likes up around here. Also, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are not subscribed yet, man, I see Green Dot Gang is in the building. Heavy already. We got 230 people already in the building between Twitter and YouTube. Salute to you guys, man. And salute to one of the mob fathers himself, starting to show off with a haymaker. My brother, Jason Hunter, Raider Demon King, gifting 10 OLV Raiders Network memberships. My brother, one of the GOATs over here. Salute to you. I appreciate you so much. Salute to all the new Green Dot Gang in the building because of my brother, Jason Hunter. I will see you Thursday. At the where we going? The Cigar Lounge. So salute to my guy Jason Hunter in the building, and salute to the 10 new Green Dot Gang members in the building because of my guy. How we feeling, man? A lot to talk about today. There's a lot of moving and shaking out there in Las Vegas, Henderson, Nevada, to be exact. A lot going on. We're going to talk about all these visits. We're going to talk about also an interesting scenario the NFL.com brought up. Travis Hunter, a Raider. We're going to talk about that as well. But once again, man, salute to everybody here in the building. Salute to Drew. Hey, Graphk, what's your thoughts on adding Abdul Carter instead of Geno Smith? D-line would be scary. Let me say this. That is my favorite player in this year's class, Drew. I love Travis Hunter as well. Love Geno Smith. Those are the top three guys in this draft. If there's any way, anyhow, that Abdul Carter falls to 6, you run to the podium to get him. He can be a generational pass rusher, opposite of Max Crosby on a rookie deal. Then you got Christian Wilkins there in the middle of that defensive line with Adam Butler and, you know, Tyree rotating in and out with Malcolm Kuntz as well. That would be nasty, nasty. So, Drew, if he's there at 6, take him. If our team decided to move up to go get him, take him. But I love Abdul Carter. I know the Penn State, NFL comp is easy to do, right? We can talk about Micah Parsons and so on and so forth. I'm gonna be real with you, man. This guy is scary. The production he put up out there was even better than the Mika's. This can be a dude at the next level. I'm telling you now. So if he's available, take him, Drew. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Salute to my guy on the $10 special, man. Salute to everybody. KT Raider, Adam, Mondo, Dan78, all my people here in the building. Salute to Demented, anxious for the draft. I cannot wait, man. We are right around the corner. I got all the shows already up on the channel ready to go, you guys. I'm talking about Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Everything is set up for the draft already here at OLV Raiders Network. So stay tuned for that. Let me see. Salute to Primos in the building. Get the GOAT Graphk to 28. Family, best chat in YouTube history. Hit that subscribe button. Won't cost you anything. Salute to my dog, Primos in the building, man. But a lot to talk about today, you guys. Once again, there are several bodies going to be in the building here very soon. Salute to Albert Breer on Twitter. I'm going to go over a list of players that are coming in for some visits, you guys. Big group in for 30 visits today. This is according to Albert Breer. Per sources, LSU offensive tackle Will Campbell. Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart. I know a lot of people in the nation will be happy about that. Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. Michigan DT Mason Graham. Ohio State quarterback Will Howard. I love it. Chip Kelly's guy. If you guys get a chance to, too, go check out John Gruden's quarterback show on YouTube. He just had Will Howard on there. Phenomenal show. Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty and Michigan outside linebacker Josiah Stewart, all in Vegas. And it sounds like Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia, will be in the building as well. Also, Maxwell Hairston will visit the Raiders on Wednesday. The Kentucky corner, like that kid. He looks more like a second-round pick, but I would have no issue if we decided to go that route in the second round. Maxwell Hairston, keep an eye on him as well. He'll be there Wednesday. Also, it looks like Shedeur Sanders will be taking a visit with the Raiders early next week, according to Jordan Schultz. We hold the number 6 pick in the draft. They've been doing their work on quarterbacks and have other QB prospects also coming into the building. Shedeur will be there early next week. And also Adam Scheffner on it. Louisville quarterback Tyler Shuck visited the Browns on Monday, visits the Giants today. He will also be visiting the Raiders next week in Las Vegas. So there's a lot of moving and shaking, you guys. Tyler Shuck, quarterback, Louisville. Shedeur Sanders next week, Colorado quarterback. And then once again, all the guys we went over, Will Campbell, Jackson Dart, Quinn Ewers, Mason Graham, Will Howard, Ashton Jeanty, Josiah Stewart, Malachi Starks, and also Maxwell Hairston, corner, Kentucky. So Spytek and company are doing their due diligence right now. A lot of talent going to be in and out of the building out there in Henderson. We'll keep you guys updated with every move. But I love this, man. Tom Brady and Spytek bringing in all the dogs, doing all their due diligence before the draft because it's right around the corner. You love to see it, man. And, Shedeur's in the building, you guys. How do you feel about that? Him and Tyler Shuck in the building next week. A lot of people assume that because of, Geno Smith being in the building now, getting the extension that we're kind of out of the Shedeur sweepstakes. There's a lot of people out there, including, I believe, Adam Scheffner, saying that it looks like Shedeur may be kind of falling out of that top 7. It looks like maybe New Orleans, maybe the earliest he goes if the Giants pass on him at 3. New Orleans at 9. There's the Pittsburgh Steelers out there. I'm even hearing some Rams. Which is interesting. Sean McVay, go get him because Matthew Stafford's potentially on, his last year or 2 out there with the Rams. Interesting, man. But I love that we're bringing in Shedeur. He also has an interview or a meeting with Pittsburgh as well. So stay tuned for that. But I love this. The Raiders are not leaving any stones unturned in terms of this draft. And you love to see it. Salute to Dwayne. I love the energy this front office and coaching staff is bringing. This is facts, man. Facts. Foxdale says, I don't care who we get anymore, y'all. We got Spytek, Brady, Seymour, Durbin, Wagner, and Meldman, plus Pete, Chip, Olsen, Philbin, Pete's sons, and Geno. Let's effing go. That's where it all starts right there, right, Fox? Starts with who you have in the building making the decisions, the decision makers. And we have a slew of them right now, and some of them are the highest of high with Tom Brady and Pete Carroll, and all the success that they've had at every turn. Mondo says Shedeur at 6. Let's effing go. Not here to say that it's off the table yet. Once again, you look at this Geno contract, and we'll go over this here in a second as well. Actually, we can go over it right now. Also, I wanted to remind you guys too, the Raiders are hosting UCLA linebacker Carson Schweichinger. I always butcher his name, on a top 30 visit today. This is according to Sean Reed, 6'2", 242-pound. Linebacker had a breakout year in 24 with 136 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss, and 2 picks. Excellent in coverage. Played for OC Chip Kelly from 21 to 23. Could fill a significant need at linebacker. This is according to Deshaun Reed on Twitter as well. So we're doing our due diligence. We're doing our homework for real. And I love this. And coming off of Mel Kiper saying that he has Ashton Jeanty in his mock draft going to the Raiders at 6. And Carson going to the Raiders in round 2. I like this. I definitely do. But real quick, this is the way the Geno Smith contract kind of shakes up to be, you guys. I know a lot of people are questioning how is it, contractually, how is this formatted? Well, salute to Spytek. They put this out there. 3 years, $106 million total value. $58.5 million guaranteed at sign, $8 million more next March, $40 million 2025 cash, 2 years, $66.5 million practical. So cap hits this year, $40 million on the books for 2025, 2026, only $26.5 million cap hit, and then 2027, $39.5 million. That 2027 is interesting because you can find your way out of that contract. Essentially, I don't think there's going to be, if none, maybe a little bit of guaranteed money left on the books. But I think in that year 3 in 2027 is where we can kind of shake out of that contract if it's not working out. So once again, if we go out and get a young quarterback and bring in let's just say a Will Howard or one of these type of guys, that year 3, 2027 is kind of where you can get out of that Geno contract if he is not the guy that we thought he would be. So 2025, 40 mil, 2026, 26.5 mil, 2027, 39.5 million, according to Spytek. So salute to them. I love the way that contract is structured. You know, 3rd round pick, you go get a guy in Geno who's a top 15 quarterback getting paid 17, 18. I think he's like the 17th, 18th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Still of a deal. Spytek, Pete Carroll did their Dougie with this one. Salute to Mike Downs. Can't make this up. Nick Wright says the Raiders will come in 2nd place if we draft Ashton Jeanty due to the schedule and Pete being a good coach. Amen. We see it year in and year out, Downs, right? And you know, I know Nick Wright is a Chiefs fan and, you know, so on and so forth. But we see it year in and year out. There's some of these teams that go out there, they perform really well, and then the next year they kind of shit the bed. I'm not expecting, you know, the Broncos and the Chargers to both be right back into the playoffs this upcoming season. One of those teams are down and drowned. You know what I mean? At some point, they're going to fall a little bit. And, you know, maybe we can pick ourselves up a little bit. But once again, I'm just kind of looking at the 8-9 range, 9-8 range. If we can get there and build on that in year 1, I'm cool. Because once again, historically, when you look at Pete Carroll and, you know, all the success that he's had in year 1, it really hasn't been that anywhere. You know, Seattle took some time to get it together. USC took some time to get it together. I'm not expecting these guys to go out there and take the league by storm unless we just absolutely hit this draft out the ballpark. And then our year 2 and year 3 guys just show up, you know, and take that next step in their development. You know what I mean? But I can see the Broncos falling off this season. You know, Bo Nix can have that, you know, sophomore slump. You know, you never know what the Chargers do. We're good. We're good. My apologies, guys. My computer decided to just completely update while I was live. So my apologies, you guys. Salute to everybody still here in the building. Let me see. We good? We good? We good? Froze up like a stripper? We good? We good to go? I think we're back, right? Salute to everybody in the building. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Once again, my computer just completely just said, let me update while I was live. So, you know. Yeah, Bert the Jerk, this is facts. Salute to Black Sales. To think just a few months ago, we may have had to trade the 6th and future draft capital to get Cam or Sanders. We might get Geno and Sanders for 1 and 3. Laughing my ass off. Amen. Amen. It's still definitely a shot here. Definitely still a shot here with Shedeur coming into the building. And it looks as though, you know, a lot of these, you know, NFL draft experts and a lot of these guys that cover the league are saying that he may fall. That he may fall. That if, you know, it sounds like the Giants are not sold on taking Shedeur there at 3. If Trav falls, they may take Trav. If Cleveland decides on taking Trav at 2, I can see the Giants bringing in Abdul Carter to add to that crazy defensive line with Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. So why not? Why not? So there's definitely a chance that he could fall. Black Sales, and this is facts, man. Once again, wouldn't it be funny that we were all complaining? Well, most of us were complaining last year that we won 2 meaningless games against the Saints and Jaguars and kind of fell out of, that Shedeur Cam Ward hunt. It'd be crazy to see him available at 6 and the Raiders decide on, making that move. It'd be actually crazy. Actually crazy. Once again, man, salute to everybody here in the building. As always, love and appreciate you all. Sorry for the mishaps, you guys. My computer decided to upgrade right in the middle of being live. Make sure you guys wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I want to ask you guys this question real quick, man, because salute to Rhett Lewis. I'm going to bring this up real quick. And salute to my guy, Black Sales. Let me share this real fast. Boom, boom. Present screen. Share screen. I'm going to show you guys this interesting article right here. And it's kind of going a little Twitter viral. He has an interesting move in this year's draft. Salute to Rhett Lewis over at NFL.com. He goes over his mock draft. He has us moving up to number 2 with the Cleveland Browns, where most people have them taking Travis Hunter there at 2. Has us moving up to 2 to take Travis Hunter. The unicorn can play corner, can play wide receiver. This is what he had to say. I've never made a mock trade before this one, but we've never seen a player like Hunter, who registers as the draft's top prospect at both receiver and cornerback. It just so happens that those 2 positions are 2 of the Raiders' biggest needs. So they aggressively move up to secure a 2-for-1 with this pick. Now that puts Cleveland there at 6, where they pick up, I believe, a 2nd-round pick this year and a next year's 2nd-round pick. And this is where they decide to take Ashton Jeanty. He ends up being Nick Chubb's, replacement out there in Cleveland, and gives them some ultra firepower at the running back position with him and Jerome Ford. What would you think about this trade, you guys? And once again, it doesn't show the trade that they had, but I believe it was for our 2nd-round pick this year and a future 2nd. What would you guys think about this? This is kind of a wild scenario here. But you end up getting one of the best, if not the best player in this draft class. And, once again, Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter to me are 1A, 1B in terms of the best players available, with Ashton Jeanty being at 1C. But I'm not against this, because once again, think of it like this, you guys. You get a guy that can play corner for you, can be your starting corner, which we just lost Jack Jones. He can be your 2-way player that can start at corner, or he can be that number 1 option out there opposite of Brock Bowers at the wide receiver position. You lose your 2nd-round pick in a deep class at the running back position. So potentially in round 3, you can still look at Quinshon Judkins. He can be available there in the 3rd round. Chip Kelly goes out and gets his guy from Ohio State, or you can look at a Cam Scatterboo or one of those type of guys there in those middle rounds. I'm not against it. Even Trayvon Henderson may be available there in the 3rd round, where you can still get one of the better running backs in this year's class. And salute to, I hope you're in the chat, because I forgot who sent me something the other day. I love Cam Scatterboo, Sacramento guy. He's a Niner fan, right? Most people are Raider or Niner guys out there in Sacramento. Somebody sent me something on Twitter the other day about him saying that Geno got paid a shit ton of money and he wasn't worth it. So I didn't hear the soundbite, but he was playing, I forgot, a video game on his stream or something like that. And he said that Geno got paid too much money. He's a Niner fan. He hates the Seahawks. Kind of took me out of the running with Cam Scatterboo. As much as I love Cam because of him being a Sacramento guy, if that's what was said, keep him away from our Raiders. I don't want to see it. But moving up to 2, trading your 2nd-round pick this year and trading your 2nd-round pick next year to move up 4 spots to 2 to go get Travis Hunter. What would you guys think about this? I'm not mad about this. Once again, if you're just parting ways with the second round pick this year and next year, I'm okay with this because you're securing one of the best two-way, well, probably the best two-way player ever, but you're securing one of the best players in this year's draft class. Because once again, you guys, who's to say that Ashton Jeanty is going to be available at 6? One of these teams can make a move up. Chicago, potentially the Saints are a sneaky team here where they can move up and get Shedeur, or who's to say they don't move up and get Jeanty? I don't know. But Jeanty may not be available at 6. You move up, get Trav. I'm not against this. Once again, man, salute to NFL.com. Interesting take here, moving up to 2 with Cleveland. Cleveland needs as much draft capital as they can get. They have a lot of holes on that roster. I know some people will say we do too, and we do have some holes on this roster, but Cleveland needs some help. And I can definitely see that happening. Rather get Will Johnson in the first and the kid out of Stanford in the second. Raider LT, I'm not against that, but the thing is this. If we take Will Johnson, and once again, you guys, he will be in for a meeting as well with our Raiders. Is it today or was it tomorrow? I know that he had another meeting somewhere else. Was it with the Browns? I mean, I could be completely butchering this, but he'll be meeting with the Raiders here soon as well, if he hasn't already. If you're going to get Will Johnson, man, I would rather trade down a little bit, LT. If you can move back a few spots and take Will Johnson, pick up an additional second or third round pick, I'm here for it. Will Johnson can definitely be one of those guys at the next level, but he just scares me with those injuries. In a perfect world, to me, you take Jeanty in the first round at 6. You don't have to move up to go get anybody. You keep your draft picks, and Siobhan Revel drops to the second round. Siobhan Revel, that is a kid that has the measurables that Pete Carroll looks for in his DBs. He's there in the second round, and you can get 2 starters back-to-back rounds with a Jeanty there and with the Siobhan Revel. So, Graham, I'm with you. EPA at 6, and more than likely, Jeanty's going to be the best player available at 6 if another team doesn't, steal him in front of us. Okay, he's with us today. Okay, got you. Abstract says, have a feeling the Bears will trade picks with either the Browns or the Jags for Jeanty. Okay. They're definitely a sneaky team to look at, for his services. But you know what's funny, man? I really have a nagging suspicion that they're going to stand pat at 10, and they're going to take the best offensive lineman available, whether that's Campbell. If Membu falls to 10, I think that they're going to stick around there at 10 and just take the best offensive lineman available. I know they went out and traded for Jonah. They picked up the center from the Atlanta Falcons in free agency. They made a move for Tooney, the former All-Pro Kansas City offensive lineman. I think that they're going to still build the trenches on the offensive side of the ball. I think they know how deep this class is at the running back position, and I think that they'll stand pat there at 10 and maybe even move back and take the best offensive lineman available. Ben Johnson had a ton of success in Detroit, you guys, because of that offensive line. Don't get me wrong, they had a ton of talent at receiver. They had the 1-2 punch with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. They definitely had Goff out there, but they had one of the better offensive lines, if not the best, second best offensive line in the NFL behind who? Like Philadelphia, right? So I can see being in year one saying, we're going to protect, our young quarterback, and that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. So I can still see them standing pat there at 10 and taking whoever's available, whether it's, once again, Will Campbell or Membu or whoever it is. Salute to Richard on becoming a member as well. My brother, I appreciate you. Salute to my brother, Wasted Talent in the building as well. Always salute to my bro. Rich, I appreciate you. If you guys want to become a member like Rich, hit the link. It's pinned up top, man. Appreciate you. 2-4, I don't see your super, brother. I didn't see your super. Maybe my computer crashed when you sent the super. I don't see it. Oh, I found it. Draft GT. I don't want to hear anything else. Talk, Shane. Talk. I love it, man. I love it. GT at 6. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. It's going to be interesting to see if all the stars line up for that move. I mean, we went out to visit him at his pro day. We took him out for dinner. He's in Las Vegas today. I mean, it looks like all the stars are lining up for Ashton Jeanty to be a Raider, but you just never know. The draft is a crapshoot. Just never know. Salute to Shane. Salute to 2-4. Starlink Wi-Fi in full effect Elon checking. It wasn't the Wi-Fi 2.4. I promise you, man. The Wi-Fi is beautiful. It was just my computer decided just maximum crash out. Nasty work. Michael, in a perfect world, you can trade back and pick up some extra picks. But honestly, man, I don't think that we can afford to miss out on BPA right here at 6. In a perfect world, you can move back, let's just say to 9 with the Saints, and let's just say Gene T's still available. In a perfect world, you move back to 9. You know, Saints move up. They get Shedeur at 6. Gene T falls to us at 9, and we pick up an extra pick or 2. That would be great. That would be great. And you guys know I love Shedeur. If he's a Raider, I'm here for it. But I'm just saying, you know, with Geno in place now, it makes sense to go get the likes of Ashton Gene T. So if you can fall back, Mike, to that 9 spot with the Saints, they take Shedeur, we move back to 9, we still get Gene T, and we pick up an extra second-round pick or something like that, I would love that. But once again, there's a lot of moving parts that go with that. Salute to the 916 people in the building, 916. Salute to my hometown. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Salute to my brother Patrick B. So much talk about pick 6. Let's talk rounds 3 and 4. To me, this is where the steals are. Who do you see us going after? It depends, Patrick, on who we take there in the first 2 rounds. You know what I mean? Like if we go running back, wide receiver, back-to-back rounds, then you're looking at potentially a corner and a guard, you know, or you're looking at a corner and a guard. I think what they're going to do is, me personally, I think it's going to be running back there. Gene T. I think the best player available is going to be Gene T. I think they take him at 6. I think they find their corner in the second round, whether it is a Siobhan Revel, which would be phenomenal if he dropped to the second round, a Benjamin Morrison, Notre Dame, one of those type of guys there in the second round. You get your corner. Got to go get a starting corner here. Got to get one ASAP. And then you looking at 3rd and 4th round at your receiver and potentially a guard, or even add another defensive tackle into the mix. But it's going to be interesting to see. And I agree with you. I think that 3rd and 4th round is going to be key moving forward on what we, you know, how to build this thing up. But I would say probably wide receiver guard, wide receiver defensive, wide receiver guard or wide receiver tackle there. I think we're going to go running back, corner, just depending on how the board drops. I'm gonna be honest. I was gonna do my final mock draft, you guys, but I have it going like this. Can I talk my shit a little bit? I was gonna do an entire show of a final mock draft, but I kind of have my first 3 guys in those first 3 rounds, and we'll talk about that here. I'm gonna give you my take on why we're doing it and so on and so forth. But I kind of have my first 3 rounds kind of sewn up, and I'll start with Gene T at 6. That's the guy. I have him. If he's the best, if he's the BPA guy there, if he's available at 6, you take Gene T at 6. I have a feeling that Siobhan Revel is going to drop into the second round because of the injury that he sustained last season. He is a stud. I have him there in the second round. Raiders take him. Boom. You have your starting running back. You have your starting corner. And then in round 3, it gets a little interesting. You can look at guard. You can look at DT. It's going to be interesting to see what defensive tackles are available there. If the kid out of Toledo is still there in the 3rd round, you may have to just say, you know what, go get my defensive tackle. But I have Jack Beck, wide receiver, TCU, 6'1", short-handed wide receiver, does not drop the football, can play on the boundary, can play in the slot. He's a sneaky receiver in this class. So those first 3 rounds, if I'm the GM and these guys are available, Gene T, Siobhan Revel, and if it's not Revel, I'm cool with Benjamin Morrison there, Notre Dame corner, and then Jack Beck. Those are my 3 guys in the first 3 rounds. That's what I'm looking at. And once again, Jack Beck offers you some versatility. He can play in the slot at a high level. He can play on a boundary at a high level. He's a starter for you from day one. That is your guy opposite of Jacoby. You know, you got Brock, you got, all your other guys, Trey Tucker. But to me, Jack Beck is a starter day one. He is a sneaky prospect in this year's class. I've watched a ton of his tape, and I'd be excited to see if he was a Raider. Oh my God, I'd be hyped. Salute to Jay, man, my dog. I wouldn't want to give up that second round pick. Draft Gene T at 6. Second round pick Rebel. There you go. We're on the same shit. Wide receiver from Iowa State, the kid Higgins, Jaden Higgins in the third round. Scatterboo loudmouth clown. Salute to my guy, Jason Hunter. I mean, look, bro, if Jaden Higgins is available in the third round, you take him. Big body kid out of Iowa State. I don't think he's there, though. I think he's gone in the second round, and he could potentially be a guy that is gone in round one. Telling you now, he could be a guy that can be gone in the first round. I could see him going in the 20s, somewhere late in the first round. He's a stud. Salute to my guy, Jason. Salute to Chris, man. Also, let me see, make sure I got everybody's supers in. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, caught up. Off-topic question real fast, Graph. I use StreamYard, but it lags. Any recommendations, or what do you do your lives on? Gene T equals DMAC. Take the quarterback. Damn, you think it's going to be McFadden? Wow. Chris, let me ask you this. With StreamYard, what is the quality that you use? Because it may be your laptop in StreamYard. The other day I was lagging. I was using 1080p. I brought it down to, 720? Haven't had an issue since. So you might want to bring down the quality, and it doesn't really change the picture at all. I'm telling you right now, I see no difference in it. Change that. Go from 1080 to 720. You'll be fine. You won't see a difference. But damn, I don't think that Ashton Jeanty is McFadden at all. Remember, McFadden had foot injuries, I believe, in high school and at Arkansas. You know what I mean? And then at the NFL level, it just caught up to him. Jeanty hasn't had really any crazy injuries at the collegiate level. But hey, man, and two different builds as well, Chris. I think maybe you're just kind of stating that if you take a running back that early, he can end up being, McFadden. I think that's kind of what you mean, which I disagree with, brother. Salute to LT. In my opinion, Jeanty is Trent Richardson draft Shedeur. Well, why do you say that? Because a running back early? I don't think that that's a fair assessment at all. I don't think that that's a fair assessment at all, man. Trent had vision problems at Alabama. That's never been an issue with Ashton Jeanty. I don't think that they possess the same skill set at all. Salute to LT, though, my dog. Let me see. I like us taking Xavier Watson in a second. I've been seeing a lot of Jack Beck and Mox in the third, bro. Looks like Cooper Kupp. Yeah, he can be one of those kind of steals there in the third round, man. That is my guy right there in the third. I'm telling you right now, AJ, if he's available there in the third round, Jack Beck is the selection for me at the wide receiver position. No trades, Drew? I think there's two different scenarios. Let me say that. There's two different scenarios. And I'll go with the first. The first is what I just said. Jeanty, Siobhan Revel, Jack Beck. I think that is a dream scenario because you get three starters back-to-back rounds. Or Travis falls to 6. You get Trav. In the second round, Amarion Hampton falls to the second round, which he very much, it's realistic. He can be available there in the second round. You get Hampton, and then in the third round, you look at, let's just say Trey Harris drops, Ole Miss, which he can very much be available there in the third round as well. So two dream scenarios: Trav, Hampton, Trey Harris, Jeanty, Siobhan Revel, Jack Beck. I like both those scenarios there. Salute to my guy, Drew Love, in the building, my dog. Drew, hold on. I think this is my dog that hit me on Twitter as well. If this is you, Drew, let me know, man. And let me know how that show went out in Dallas. Let me see. Salute to CGR in the building as well, my dog. Give me his teammate, Savion Williams, Savion in the third. Instead, 6'5" with 4.3 speed. I like him too. Just like Vaughn said as well, I like Dante Thornton as well. Two big body guys, speedsters. I have no issue with that. I think that Jack Beck can be just a stud at the next level. I think that Savion and Dante Thornton are kind of boom or bust kind of guys. You know what? You know what's funny, Waste? And I know you're a linebacker guy. I would rather wait. I'd rather wait in the later rounds. I think that, the kid out of UNLV, you can get him in the later rounds. I think that he could be a stud for you. You can look at Jack Kaiser, our guy in Notre Dame, probably in that 5th, 6th, maybe even falls to the 7th round. I would just go get a linebacker there late and bring in a couple UDFAs and run it. I don't want to invest early on at the linebacker position. Now, if you trade back, you add some additional firepower, and let's just say Campbell drops, pick him up, even with the shoulder injury. I don't give a shit. Campbell is a stud. You know what I mean? Or even if you pick up let's just say you move back and pick up an additional second round pick and you want to take Carson out of UCLA, I'm here for it. But I just don't think that you take a linebacker that early. I think it's too early. I do. I don't want to go first 3 rounds of linebacker. I just honestly don't want to make that move. Oh, no, I'm not saying it's not a major move, a major need, but we still got some guys on this roster that you want to. I mean, what did we take Tommy Eichenberg last year for no reason? I mean, Amari Burney's still in the building. I mean, Ferrari's out there. You brought in, your guy Devin White on a prove it deal. 1 year, no guaranteed money for $1 million. I think he's going to want to go out there and show that he still has it. You know what I mean? And once again, Landon Roberts is one of the sneakier pickups in this year's free agency class. So I just don't think that it's necessarily a need to take one that early. And I think that you're drunk at work right now, Wasted. Honestly, and you don't even drink. I think you're drinking on the clock right now, bro. Honestly, did you stop in Newark and take a little personal shot of heme? A little bit of Hennessy in your system? What are we doing here? Wasted? Are you out there drunk on those what was the joints that you were drunk on? The light work in Vegas? The death row joints? The purple tape? It's nasty work. Chewy says, y'all don't understand, bro. There's no lineman at 6 that's going to move the needle for the line. Y'all love reaching. You know what's funny, man? Angry Dad. There you go, Wasted. Salute to them. They were our sponsor for a draft 2 years ago. But I got to disagree with you here, too. I think that Mimbu is the guy. If you've invested in your O-line, he could be a stud for you. There's a lot of, which is, I think, kind of craziness, right? He hasn't played a snap at the NFL level yet. But there's a lot of Rashawn Slater comps with Mimbu, the right tackle out of Missouri. If you take him at 6, I'm not going to be mad about it because, once again, you can push Glaze in at right guard, and you probably have one of the better right sides, in the NFL on your O-line with JPJ at center. So, but, I mean, I hear you. And do I want to take an O-lineman at 6? No. If they take one there, I'm not going to be upset. I'd rather get the likes of an Ashton Jeanty or a Trav if he falls. But I think that Mimbu's going to be a stud, bro. I do. Once again, watch his tape, bro. It's some of the greatest tape you can watch. Salute to my guy, Drew Love. One more. Name 2 to 3 mid to late round guys you feel like can start this year. Also, that was me from Twitter. Show was dope. 7,000 people. Talk that shit, Drew. Salute to my guy, man. My dog. Congratulations on the success with that show, brother. Let me know next time you're out here. I got to pull up and come have a drink with you, man. 2 to 3 mid to late round guys. I won't cheat and say Jack Beck because he, I already have him as one of my guys. I'll say this. Even though I'm taking Jeanty at 6, RJ Harvey, if he falls to the middle rounds, I think that RJ Harvey can be a stud out of Central Florida, UCF. He's a stud. Another guy, Drew, that I've talked about a lot, and I think you guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about him, Kobe Bryant, Kansas. He could be a stud at the cornerback position. What's the kid's name out of Sac State? Is it Jackson Slater? The guard out of Sac State, 6'4". He could be a guy that could be a sneaky pickup for you there in the later rounds. There's a ton of guys. But I'll just throw a few. RJ Harvey, if he drops there to the 3rd, 4th, he's a guy that could be a sneaky pickup for you. I know he's kind of under 5'8", kind of has that. He's the same height as Jeanty, but he could be a sneaky pickup for you. Once again, Jackson Slater, the guard out of Sac State. And like I said Kobe Bryant. He's a stud. He's a stud. And you could even go Mello Dotson, his sparring partner at the other corner spot out of Kansas. He's another guy that could be a sneaky pickup for you later on. Salute to my guy, Drew Love in the building. Raider Pace, my dog, on a $5 special, man. The GT hate reminds me of dudes saying Lamar should be a wide receiver coming out. Y'all going to learn to just not talk. Talk that shit, Pace. Talk. GT's going to be a stud. He's going to be a stud. Perennial All-Pro. Calling it now. If I'm wrong, I'll own that shit. Salute to Pace, man, my guy. Oh, there was a lot. There was a lot. And you know what's funny? I'm not going to go into details about certain things, but there was a lot that happened behind the scenes with him. That's why they moved on. And I don't know if you guys seen, but he cleared the waiver wire. He has on his last year of his rookie deal, he was only owed like $4 million, somewhere along those lines. There's a lot of other stuff behind the scenes that's going on with Jack and why we let him go and why no other team picked him up. I'm telling you now, you know, it has a lot of off-field stuff. And it's not my story to tell. But from what I've heard, there's a lot of other stuff, you know, work ethic, being bought in. There's just a lot of other stuff. But very telling why on a rookie deal, former starting corner who had some big plays for the Raiders in year one didn't even get picked up off the waiver wire. So just salute to Hug. In and out, running errands for days. 4 days left on round one of my program. I love it, man. I'm always love hearing this. Down 28 pounds, 192 from 220. 3 months from 50. It's never too late to transform ourselves. Hug be picking these weights up and putting them down. Raider strong. Talk that shit, Hug. Salute to my brother, man, out there on his transformation. I love it, man, on his transformation hype. My dog, Hug, man. Appreciate you on a $20 special. And keep doing your thing, brother. I'm proud of you, man. I like Jaden Higgins in the third. Not against it. If he's available there, Potbelly, he's 6'4", big body wide receiver. I'm not against it. I just think that he's going to go in the second, potentially in the late first. If there's a run on wide receivers early, the Matthew Goldens, the McMillans, some of those guys are back-to-back. I can see Higgins being a guy that can go there in that later first round. Salute to Potbelly, my dog. And he could be one of the sneakier, better wide receivers in this class. I can't work out, Hug. I'm pissed, man. I fucked up my rib the other day playing football with my son. Went out there and was working on some things. I sent this to Wasted the other day. I forgot what it's called. It's a intercostal muscle strain. Bro, I was in the bed all day yesterday, could hardly fucking move. Yeah. So nasty work, man. I wish I could pick up the weights today, but hey, sometimes you got to take a break. Salute to God, family, and Raiders for life. If we trade back and get an extra second and third, I think we can get a starting OT/guard, corner, running back, and wide receiver. I like Revel with our first pick. Swap Carson, linebacker, and Judkins, Henderson in the second. Jay Higgins/Noah in the third. BPA for OT/guard. A lot going on right there, God and family. But I hear you, bro. I hear you. If you could trade back and pick up an extra second and third, that'd be phenomenal. But once again, man, a lot has to happen in order to pick up two of those. And, you know, that's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult. I'm looking at just one of them. If you could pick up an extra second or even an extra third to move back, you know, you kind of, you know, moving and shaking there. But, I mean, that'd be beautiful if you could. That'd be beautiful. I think if you pick up an extra second and a third, you're either moving back like from 6 to like the late 20s, or you're just moving out of the first round completely to pick up an extra second and third. I could be wrong, but there's a lot there. But we definitely have to hit this draft class out the park, God and family. Salute to my guy. Salute once again to everybody here in the building, as always. Let me see. Salute to the chat. Yeah, man, it's not good for you, Hug, at all. I don't know why people are trying to get on that whole Ozempic diet. It's not good for you, man. It's not good for you. I would tell you, if you're not diabetic, stay away from that shit. Juice says, get another deep threat like Jimmy Horn pairing with Trey Tucker. I'm here for it. I would love it. I would love it. Yeah, I'm a big Jimmy Horn fan. You know, he's had a problem sometimes securing the football, but he looked good at his pro day. He looked good at the Shrine Bowl when I got a chance to cover him. I would not be against bringing him in the later rounds if available. You know what, Remy? He's another name that I'm starting to hear rise up some boards. Isaac Tesla out of Arkansas. Big body guy, plays in the slot. Didn't have a ton of production. But once again, 6'4", 215. 10-inch hands, ran a 4.43. Definitely speedy, 40-inch vert, 10.9 bread jump. I mean, this kid's a stud. He'll be probably a fourth, fifth round pick, Remy, somewhere in that range. Once again, though, didn't have a ton of production at the collegiate level. Didn't have the greatest quarterback situation out there in Arkansas. But once again, a 6'4" big body guy that primarily plays out of the slot. I'm here for it. He could be one of those sneaky pickups for you in that 4th, 5th, 6th round if available. Even though he could somebody may take him there in the 3rd. But not a ton of production. I was doing some homework on him yesterday. I want to bring this up. Like I said, not a ton of production. Last year, 28 receptions, 546 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did average 19.5 a clip. And then you look the year prior in 2023, 34 receptions, only had 351 yards, averaged 10.3 a clip, and only had 2 touchdowns. So, but definitely an interesting name. I love the name. You know what I mean? Could be a sneaky pickup for you there in the mid rounds. Let me see. Jalen Royals is a sleeper. Definitely another interesting name that you're going to start hearing a lot more, come closer to draft day. A lot of Higgins talk, a lot of those, but Jalen Royals is he like 5'10"? Could have swore he's like 5'10". Oh no, I'm wrong. 6 foot. Damn, who the hell was I thinking about? 834 yards last year, 55 receptions, 6 touchdowns, 15.2 a clip. Yeah, man. Okay. Had 1,000 yards receiving the year prior in 2023, had 15 touchdowns. So, hey, man, that's a sneaky name right there to keep an eye on, too. Utah State, Aggie. Let me see. And that's another name, the kid out of Colorado State. Big body guy that you could put on the boundary immediately. Colorado State, he's a beast. That's another guy that I took a lot in these mock drafts. That's who I was thinking about was Jalen Noel. Higgins' sparring partner out there at Iowa State. Salute to my guy, J800. Salute to Drew Love. My favorite late picks, Jackson Woodward, linebacker, UNLV, Pat Bryant. That's another name, big 6'3", 6'4", boundary guy out of Illinois. Billy Bowman, the linebacker out of Oklahoma State, I believe. And then Bashar Smith, that is Virginia, correct? I think that's Virginia. That's another name that I'm starting to hear a lot of right now, that kid out of Virginia. Definitely, man. But Bowman, we've talked about him a lot. We've talked about Woodard a lot. I got a chance to speak to him at the Shrine Bowl. I think that maybe he'll be a late round guy. Oh, SMU. There you go. Who that, fam? SMU. Thank you. I thought it was Virginia. Who's the kid out of Virginia? The running back. I'm hearing his name a lot more. But yes, SMU. Thank you, who that, fam. But Pat Bryant's a name that we've talked a lot about over here too, the big body guy out of Illinois. But Jackson, man, can be potentially a UDFA. Like real talk. I can see him dropping. And what is he, 6'2"? 6'2", I would definitely take a look at him in the later rounds. But if he dropped as a UDFA, I think we have, the upper hand there with him remaining in Vegas. Tootin, that's who it is. Tootin Young, the kid from Virginia Tech. Salute to Drew, man, my guy. Let me see. We've talked about so many of these guys, man. It's difficult to keep up with all the names. Yeah, definitely, AJ. Definitely a competitor, man, for sure. Let me see. Definitely does. The thing that scares me about Darian Porter is, though, that he has, the measurables. I know that he's the type of guy that Pete Carroll would love, but he hasn't played corner for too long. 007, like he's a converted wide receiver. So there's going to be probably a gap there where he has to develop. And if you take him early, you're kind of just like playing, you're betting that he could be a guy that can develop, and Pete Carroll could be the guy to do it. We've seen him do it before. But former wide receiver has not played a ton of corner. Kind of scares me a little bit. You would have to develop him. And I think right now, if you bring him in and he can't start from day one, you're betting on the likes of, Jacorian and potentially DCAM to be those guys on the boundary. I love Craig Woodson. I literally just took him in my mock draft last year. Or last night. That's who it is. Took in Virginia. Not Virginia Tech, but it's VA. Let me see. Like Charles Grant as well. William and Mary, right, Chewy? It's another sneaky guy. But Craig Woodson can be a stud. The safety out of Cal. Let me see. There's some other guys that I value over the Amos and Thomas out of Stanford. I'm going to look something up real quick. Or Florida State, my apologies. I want to see how many picks he had last year. He had 1 pick, 4 passes defense, 36 solo tackles. 1 pick in his career at Florida State. 6'2", 198, big body corner. I mean, Pete can work some magic with him. But me personally, there's other guys that I value at the corner spot over those 2 guys in the second round. Once again, I'd rather have Siobhan Revel if he drops or Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame. Those are my 2 guys to take a look at. Thomas is a stud, bro. He's a stud. I just think that there's some – I just like my guy. You got your guys, I got my guys. Let me see. Salute. We got over 1,000 people rocking with us in the building. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? But I like Amos. I like Thomas. But I have certain individuals that I like there in the second round at the corner spot that I would rather go with. Let me see. Haven't heard anything, DeMarcus. Nothing. It's been really, really quiet on the Elijah Moore front. I'm expecting him to get picked up after the draft. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that he'll be picked up off the streets after the draft. Still young, 25 years old, hasn't reached his full potential because of the quarterback situations there with the Jets and with Cleveland. I can definitely see him being like a sneaky pickup after the draft. Let me see. It just depends, man. It depends on how the board drops, AJ. You know what I mean? It just depends on how the board drops. Like, you got to give me some scenarios, brother. Like, if we take running back in the first round, or if we take a corner in the second round, give me a scenario to go off of. But honestly, a kid that I can see being a dark horse just at any position is the kid Darius out of Toledo, the defensive tackle. That dude is a stud, bro. He's a stud. I can see him being that big monster that you add to the defensive line there in the second round if he drops. Shit, I could see somebody even taking potentially a flyer on him, which may sound crazy in the first round. Darius Alexander, 24 years old, 311 pounds. Dude's a stud, had 3.5 sacks last season, had 4 the year prior. Big body you throw out there in the defense. Like, he could be a sneaky pickup for you. I like that name too, OG, even though I think that Tyler Booker has an opportunity to potentially go in the first round still, even at the guard spot. Let me see. It's about the kid out of Maryland, right? L11. I like Ty Felton. And he's in for a meeting with the Raiders, Maxwell Hairston. So definitely a name to keep an eye on. Salute to Zahn in the building, my dog. I am. It's not. There may have been a team or two that's given Jalen Milroe the indication that they want to take him, but that doesn't mean anything. It's not a sure thing. There's been plenty of players that went out to the draft before and didn't go in that round. Let me see. Wade, if he can build off that 2023 season, I mean, I think you're looking at 10 to 12. 10 to 12. And if he plays all season and he's really truly healed up, I mean, you can probably see maybe 12 to 14. But I got 10 to 12 this year. Salute to Hug, my dog, once again. Graphk, we both know you be forgetful as F. First off, send me that oh shit. Second, send me that OLV logo so I can make you some dope stickers. You forgot again, I'm flying to Texas. My bad, Hug. I've had a lot going on, bro. I got you, bro. I got you, my brother. Salute to you, man. Salute to my brother Hug, man, for reminding me. Got on my helmet. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know if we can really say that he's going to be a Darren Waller type, though. There's a lot, that he has to do at the next level to even be considered, a Darren Waller, Reese. You know what I'm saying? The one knock on him is he had a ton of production last year at San Jose State, but he's a converted, quarterback, and I think some people are worried about his speed at the next level. I don't know, man. But if you can get Nick Nash there in the later rounds, I'd bring him in. I'd bring him in for sure. And he's a good kid, too. I had a chance to talk to him at the Shrine. Good dude. I don't, Gotham. I don't. And it may not be the most popular take, but I think he could be the best wide receiver in this year in this class. Over McMillan, over all those guys. I think Matthew Golden can be a stud this upcoming season. I don't think that he's overhyped at all. I can see him going as early as 12 to the Cowboys, which I know that he's, taking a visit with. Or I see him going potentially the latest somewhere in the late 20s. I can see Golden end up with the damn Kansas City Chiefs if he drops that far, and he'll end up being a star out there, which I don't want to happen. Young DB, there's a lot to like about Darian Porter. Once again, I'm just going off of what I've read and what I've watched. He could be a stud, but it's definitely he could be a boomer bust type prospect. He can end up being a project because of not playing that much at the corner position, converted wide receiver. And I know there's been other guys that have panned out well at the next level, converting from wide receiver to corner. I'm just stating obvious here. Salute to Rich. I like that kid. Like Walker a lot. Big body, 6'7" out of Kentucky. 6'7". Definitely. I see his range so weird. It's like I've seen him in the second round, the third round. I've seen him drop to the fourth. So I don't know truly where his value is. But I like that kid a lot out of Kentucky. 6'7". You can't teach that. On the defensive line. Now that's who you can pretty much say is the Darren Waller-esque type. Yes. Facts. Gatson, kid out of Syracuse. I interviewed him at the Shrine Bowl. Good kid. Converted tight end, former wide receiver. That is a kid that you can definitely take a look at because once again, Darren Waller, former wide receiver, Georgia Tech, converted to tight end. That is literally like the spitting image of Darren Waller, even though Gatson is, what is he, 6? Is he 6'5"? I think he's 6'5", right? Or is he a little? Yeah, he's 6'5". Waller's 6'6". So Waller's a little taller than Gatson, but he's a stud. He's a stud. The number one option out there, Syracuse with Kyle McCord. All for it. All for it. Love Ollie Gordon. Oklahoma State had a down season, but the year prior he went crazy. I'm all for it. You guys know I'm not the biggest Jalen Milroe fan, but if we bring him in and Chip Kelly decides that that's the guy he wants to develop, I'm here for it. Support Hug, man. Support Hug and his brand for sure. Like that kid too. I've taken him in a few mocks. Gotten a chance to watch some of his tape. Haven't seen a lot of them, but I've watched some of his tape. Solid pass rush upside. Also, Kiffin used him as a fullback in short yardage and goal line, and he was unstoppable, 6+ TDs. Look at Drew, man, throwing me some hidden gems out there. But we've talked about JJ over here. That is a kid that I've took in multiple mock drafts. He's a stud out of Ole Miss, and he's usually available there in those later rounds. Drew, I want to see something though. I want to see what the production was the year prior. 6'2", 325, had 3.5 sacks this last season, 18 solo tackles. Then he had 3.5 sacks the year prior in 2023. Damn, he had the same exact numbers, you guys. How the hell does that happen? In 2023 and 2024, he had 42 total tackles, 18 solo both years, 3.5 sacks. The only thing different was he had one fumble recovery in 2024 and none in 2023. That's absolutely insane that he had 2 years back-to-back identical production. 18 solo, 42 total, 3.5 sacks. That's crazy. That is crazy. Salute to my guy Drew with a bomb. I love that, man. Love that. That is an interesting prospect, though, for sure. Salute to my guy, man. Get some questions in, you guys, before we get out of here. Once again, man, salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. All my guys, I see you guys having your separate conversations in the chat. This is what it's about, man. I love to see our community with the back and forth banter in the chat, man. I love and appreciate all you guys. This is what it's about. There's a lot of excitement in the nation right now with all these visits. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about that here again in a second for those who are just joining the show. There's a ton of names that are going to be in the building this week and next week. Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders. We'll go over that list again here shortly, but two polarizing names right now. Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders will be visiting the Raiders. Let me see. Love it. Love it. Jonah's my guy out of Arizona. Showed out at his pro day out here in Dallas. Anthony Belton, North Carolina State. Another guy to keep an eye on at the tackle position. He's more of a mid-round guy to me. J800, if they decide to go that route, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But two interesting prospects. Love Jonah at Arizona. Like, he stood out at the pro day, the Big 12 pro day. He was just different. A monster among men. Let me see. Reese, love Rocket Raheem Sanders too. It's my guy. Let's see. No, natural immunity, still available. Still available. I think him and Keenan Allen are kind of sitting back. And, they've seen the money that Diggs got. They've seen the money that Cooper Kupp got. They may be trying to overvalue themselves a little bit right now because of the production and what they've done in their careers. So if those guys got big time money, Amari Cooper, 5-time Pro Bowler or something like that? Keenan Allen, I mean, he's been a, perennial Pro Bowler damn near his whole career too. They're probably sitting back and saying, I need mine. That's probably why Elijah Moore and Tyler Lockett and those third level guys aren't really signed yet, because I think Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen are kind of sitting back and saying, well, if they're getting paid this, what are we getting paid? So I think you see those names go off the board first before the likes of Elijah Moore or Tyler Lockett. But once again, I think that Lockett is a lock, no pun intended, for the Raiders at some point, probably close to the draft or right after the draft. Yeah, man. And Sanders is healthy now, Peyton. He told me firsthand he's healthy now. He's good to go. I know he dealt with the knee injury and some other things. He's ready. He's good to go. Rocket's a beast. Sampson out of Tennessee is nice. Blue out of Texas is nice too. This is a deep, deep running back class. Let me see. NTL, let me say this. You guys know how I feel about Shedeur. I've said this on multiple shows. If he's available at 6 and they take him, I love it. I would love it, because we have our future there at the quarterback position. Something that the Raiders have not done in a long time was, say, hey, we're worried about the future more than just the now. So if we take him at 6, I would love it. If we don't, we go another route, I'm cool. Best player available, cool. But the reason why I would love Shedeur at 6 is, once again, us saying we're not really, we can go out and compete this year, but we're not necessarily going to win the whole thing. We're getting our guy of the future. I'm here for it. If that's the route we're going, I'm here for it. Because once again, we have not valued the future over the now in a long time. We keep going out there and bricking these 3-pointers. Sometimes, man, hey, man, there's a layup right there. Just, clear alley for you to just up and get your future rolling. Let's see. He said, where are we watching WrestleMania? Pull up, bro. Pull up to the crib. Pull up to the crib, Jay. Definitely going to be here. Pizza, wings, all that good stuff. Pull up to the house. But yeah, once again, I mean, if they decide to go Shedeur at 6, I'm going to celebrate it. If they don't, I'm going to celebrate it. Killer, I mean, if you want to go both those, you're going to probably have to move up from the second back into the first. And that depends on what you're willing to part ways with. You know what I mean? But there's still a ton of mocks where I see Jackson Dart still available in the second round. So there is a world where you can end up with both. But if you're wanting Jackson Dart, let's just say he gets past the Jets there at 7 and gets past the Steelers there at 9. I mean, the Saints at 9. You may have to move up to get him. But there's a world that can happen, unless one of these teams decide to take him in the top 10, which the Jets, I heard, are high on him. Maybe the Saints think that he could be the guy to take, Derek Carr's spot after this season. Who's to say? Salute to my guy Spivey in the building, gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships. Salute to my brother, the Kevin Nash of Mount Shillmore. My guy, appreciate you, brother. Salute to all the new members in the building. If you missed out on those 5, hit the link. It's pinned up top. Definitely helps us keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network, man. That's not just you, Redbone. I would love Travis Hunter. Would love to have the unicorn in the building. That would be beautiful, man. Drew, another stud. We've talked about him. A lot of people in the chat have mentioned the kid out of Texas, the safety. Not against that move. He said round 4. It's funny. I got him going a little earlier than that. Is this a hot take, Drew? I got him going early 3rd round. Barron will be a 1st round pick. Their star slot corner. I got him going in the 3rd round. But he could be there in the 4th. Salute to my guy, Drew Love. But I think he'll be a 3rd round guy. Let me see. Salute to my guy, Remy. If we draft Gene, I would look to draft a big bruising back the 5th to 6th rounds like a Damian Martinez or a Raheem Sanders. I'm here for it, bro. I've said this since day one. I don't care if you take a running back early, you still need to get another one there in the later rounds. But you know what's funny, Remy? There's going to be a ton of running backs because of how deep this class is. There's going to be some guys that are going to fall out of the draft completely and be UDFAs. Now, do I think that Damian Martinez out of Miami will? No. Had over 1,000 yards rushing this past season with Miami. I think he'll be somewhere in that 5th to 6th round. Raheem, as much as I love Rocket out of South Carolina, I could see him being a 7th round guy because of the injuries in the past, potentially falling out of the draft as a whole. And if he's available there, take him. But I hear you. I would love either one of those guys to add some extra value to that running back room, even with Sincere there, Zeus, Lauby, and Mostert. Definitely agree with you, man. If you take a running back early, that should not stop you from getting one late. But I do believe that they're probably going to look at, some UDFAs and potentially bringing another one to compete. Love Rocket, though. Love Raheem Sanders. And Damian Martinez from Miami, he's a stud, too. Definitely a stud as well. Let me see. Reese says, go get both of them, huh? Go get Andrew and Barron. I'm here for it. The Las Vegas Longhorns. Like that kid, too, Natural Immunity. Like that kid, too. late round guy, potentially probably be more of a special teams guy for you in year one, a guy you have to develop at the safety spot. Salute to Frank, my dog, gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships. My brother, man. Salute. You guys are the greatest, man. You guys have been going absolutely bonkers with the members this past week or so. Like, real talk, bro. Like, it's crazy, man. I appreciate all you guys so much. Frank, my brother, salute to you and salute to the 5 new members because of Frank. Salute to Ty. I hope they really work on the O-line in the draft. O-line and DBs. I see they kept a couple of guys, potential starters, Webb, etc. I don't think you want to see Sam Webb start for you at all. We did bring him back. He has 1 more year left on his deal. Brought him in on a 1-year deal, right? You don't want, to me, he's a depth piece. That's it. That's all. You know what I mean? Like, I think the only potential starters on this team right now, and I'm talking about with Pete Carroll in the building, aiding Patrick Graham, it's D-Cam and it's Jack Jones. I think those are the only 2 guys that have the potential to be started. I think Jacorian's a starter regardless. Year 3, he started for us last year, looked really good before he went down with some injuries. He's a starter for you. But D-Cam with Pete Carroll's tutelage, if that's the word, tutelage, he could be a stud for you. But then I even see some people thinking that Darnay Holmes can start for us. No, he should not be the starter for you in the slot. He's a depth piece. I think the only 2 guys that we have on this roster right now at the corner spot that can be starters potentially is D-Cam and then for sure Jacorian Bennett. But, and Ty, they're going to build the trenches on the offensive side of the ball in the draft as well. They'll go get a body or 2, you know what I mean? But they really, really like what they have in the building right now. I've been told this by numerous people that they like what they have in the building right now. They love, the bringing back Jordan Meredith. They love JPJ for sure. They love that Colton's back and he's stronger and he's ready to go and battle it out his last year of his deal, which it's not kind of out of the window yet that they may potentially bring him back on an extension. I think they want to see where his health is this upcoming, training camp before they even decide on pulling the trigger on a potential extension. There's no more guaranteed money on the books for him last year, but they love DJ Glaze, and they're really betting on Kappa to kind of return to that Tampa Bay form, with this new regime in place. He had a terrible year with Cincinnati last year. So once again, you guys remember how much this O-line improved when Joe Philbin took over last year. Remember, they got better. And with Geno out there in a real ground game, they'll even look way better. They'll look way better than what they looked like last year. But what I heard is they like what they have out there on the O-line. Haven't heard really a lot about, what Mumford is bringing to the table right now, DeMarcus. I don't know. I haven't heard his name at all. Waiting to hear Thayer's name a little bit more. And, but maybe he's a guy that can kick in, kick out, play the guard spot, play the tackle spot. So we'll see where we are with him. Salute the Dark Raider on becoming a member as well. Appreciate you, brother, so much. If you guys want to become a member like Dark, hit the link. It's pinned up top. Welcome to Green Dot Gang, my brother. Yeah, plus a better coaching staff. That's where it starts. Yeah, Ty, I haven't heard anything about Mumford. And I know it's still early. I mean, there's no real football activities at all yet. They just got back into the gym, yesterday to get a chance to work out and kind of start building that camaraderie up, in the off season right now. But I mean, when football activities return, I'm hoping to hear Mumford's name. I'm hoping I hear Dalton Wagner's name. I'm hoping I hear some of these guys' names. Big John, yes, we do have Dalton Wagner. He's still on the roster. Salute to my brother Hug, man, losing his mind today. Appreciate you on the $50 special, my brother. As always, love and appreciate you, man. Drop the haymaker in the chat, the $50 holla. Chat, close your eyes and visualize. Thursday morning, April 24th, you walk into a silver and black clad building in Henderson, Nevada. Sun is shining, birds are chirping, and Brady, Spytek, and Pete smelling espresso, smelling salts, and vengeance. That's probably one of the greatest comments I've ever seen in a chat, Hug. Ever. It was so vivid. It's like I'm there right now, Hug. So visually, I love it. Salute to our brother Hug with a $50 special and a phenomenal comment. Yeah, AJ, that is Wagner's still like the biggest myth ever. It's like 6'8", former, offensive lineman for Arkansas. It's kind of like been in and out. Like, what are we doing with him? Hug, my dog. I appreciate you, my brother. S. Dot, look, I didn't hear it myself. Salute to Top Beats, my brother in the building. I didn't hear it myself, but somebody sent it to me on Twitter, and it looked like it was true. He said he didn't get the audio of it, but it looked, and to be real, I don't think that's too smart from Cam Scatterbo. I don't know if maybe he heard some things behind the scenes that we weren't interested in him. Maybe he's just trying to talk his way to the Niners. They can use another running back, and I'm hearing that potentially the Niners are interested in keeping him in Northern California. But I didn't hear it. But if that's true, I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. And once again, his contract's not even insane like that. He's getting paid to be he's like the 17th, 18th highest paid quarterback, and he was 4th in passing yards last year and one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. So if that's what he said, I mean, Sacramento or not, Sacramento proud or not, get Cam the fuck out of here. So, but, he told me, showed it to me. I mean, once again, I seen the screenshot, but I didn't see the video. I didn't see it. So I don't know if he truly said that. And if he did, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you say that? Because this could be potentially a team that's looking at adding a running back in the middle rounds. If we decide to not go GT there, we could be looking at a running back there, and Cam might have talked himself out of a job. So I need to see it. If somebody can find the Cam Scatterbo video where he allegedly said that Geno wasn't worth the contract that he got, please send it my way. I would love to see it. And for those who don't know, Cam Scatterbo plays video games. He has like a live stream thing, I think on YouTube or Twitch or somewhere along those lines where he plays video games. And apparently he said something about our new quarterback one, Geno Smith. But it wouldn't make any sense to say that. Like, why would you potentially hurt your draft stock by doing that? We're a running back needy team. That doesn't make any sense to do that. So, but that Northern California thing is real, you guys. I keep trying to tell people, if you're not from there, people don't understand why I hate the Niners more than I hate the Chiefs, because I'm from Northern California, and it's that real. So this may be Cam just saying, I hate the Raiders. And if that's true, bye. I mean, some people don't want to hear it, but Brock Bowers grew up loving the Niners. He's a Niner fan. People don't want to hear that one of our best players on our football team is a Niner fan. Grew up in Napa. Salute to my brother Top, man, one of the GOATs, bro. Gifting 20 OLV Raiders Network memberships. My motherfucking dog, bro. Salute to the OG. Appreciate you, brother. Love you, man, as always. And salute to CGR, one of the other GOATs and my fathers himself as well, gifting 5 more of them things. You guys are truly, truly special. Salute to the new 25 Green Dot Gang members in the building because of Top and CGR. If you missed out on those, hit the link. It's pinned up top. It definitely helps us keep the lights on. And Kyle, this is facts. NorCal 49er hate is real. Real talk. There's 2 things that I hate more. 3 things that I hate more than the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos. That is the Niners, child support, and snakes. Salute to CGR. Definitely, Mac. That was the look of shit. Martin, facts. Yes. Let me see. I don't know if I hate the Niners more than the Chiefs. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. Much love, bro. Much love. Sean, Kings postseason, man. Look, I'm not buying into that shit. I love my Kings, man, but bro, they've been so up and down, dog. You go out there and lose to the Wizards, then beat the Pistons on the road, the Cavs on the road. It's just like, what are y'all doing, bro? Like, what are we doing here? This is the most bipolar basketball team in the world. We're in the play-in right now. We'll probably play at home against the Mavericks. I damn near wanted them to play on the road so I can go to the game out here in Dallas. But, man, look, this team is just not trustworthy at all, man. It's not trustworthy at all, man. DeMarcus ain't never lied, bro. Eduardo, it's difficult to have a complete all-pro O-line. But I do believe that JPJ is going to be – his trajectory is going towards that. I think that Colton Miller is finally, in store to be at least a Pro Bowler. I mean, shit, man. I mean, it's crazy to see how Colton has played well for us, and it's not even a one-time Pro Bowler. It's nasty work. But if I had to be a betting man and had to have one all-pro guy on this team, it's got to be JPJ. Yes, salute to Hug. Only subscribers can be gifted memberships. Facts. Ty, you ain't never lied. Smooth kryptonite, bro. AJ, look, I'm from NorCal. I hate the Niners with every fiber of my being. Get that Celtic shit out of here, Classic Man Q. Get that shit out of here, Mondo. Get that shit out of here, Primos. I don't want to hear it, bro. Yeah, man. That's where it starts. It all starts up here. As long as JPJ can stay healthy, love it. That's that I know. He'll be available there. I've taken him a lot in the 5th or 6th round, the kid out of LSU. AJ, blocked. Colton, if he was in the NFC, he would have had a couple Pro Bowls. This is facts. DeMarcus, you ain't never lied, brother. Never lied ever. Salute to old E in the building, my guy. Sacktown in the building, Graphk 916 for life. Salute to my guy, man. Salute to Top. Yo, Docs, do you think we'll trade back and pass on Gene T? I don't. Unless there's just a trade package that just blows Spytek's mind, where you can pick up an extra 2nd round pick. And who is it? Top, if it is. I mean, is New Orleans parting ways with a 2nd to move from 9 to 6? I don't think so. You probably maybe get a 3rd round pick at best. You move from 12 to 6, or from 6 to 12. I'm assuming the Cowboys are taking GT if you move to 12. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of believing the smoke here, Top, with GT. We've met with him a lot. We've been tied to him a lot. I think, and this could be a hot take here, I think the only way we miss out on GT is if somebody takes him before us. If somebody moves up to get him. I think that Spytek and company are definitely all in on GT. I think that's the Pete Carroll-esque type running back that he wants. And, he could potentially be our Marshawn Lynch, for now and for the future. A real workhorse type running back that's going to put up a ton of production at the next level. He's a hard worker on and off the field. Salute to Cheese, my guy. I hope for a 7th rounder for Jones so we can grab Desmond Watson. So now what you think about a late round flyer for him? Shit, bro. I'm not even Desmond Watson. Florida? Oh, you talking about the big boy. The big, bro, this dude is 464. I've seen so much video and tape on this guy. 6'5", 450. Yeah, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know. That's a big boy. That's a big boy, Cheese. I mean, if you want him there, you can get him anyway. That's a big boy. He said, Will Forkish. Facts. That's a big boy. I've seen a ton of videos on this kid. That shit doesn't even look real. Jay says, put him at fullback. Man. Salute the tie. Once again, man, JPJ is trying to get on that Max Crosby level. This is facts, man. Facts. Facts. Cap says 5'9", 40 for a monster. He said, do I hear words cardiac arrest? Frank, God damn, bro. It's a big boy, man. That's a big boy. 6 solo tackles last year, 20 total, 14 assists, no sacks, no forced fumbles, no fumble. It's a big dude. It's a big dude. And they have handed the football off to him before out there in Florida. I don't know if you guys got a chance to go look at the video. There's actual video of them having him in the backfield and running him down the opposing defense's throat. Pause if necessary. Man down, you're not getting a 4th round pick for Zeus. It's not happening. If they could do that, they would have did that. I know he was drafted there, but you're not getting a 4th round pick for Zamir White. It's just not happening. Next year's QB class potentially has a lot more options. Are you cool with rolling with AOC as the backup for now? I'm knowing that we got Geno. This is facts. I'm not against it. I still think that you would want to add another body into that room. You know what I mean? So if you want to get one in the later rounds, I'm cool with that, Silver and Facts. I'm cool with that. And Top, I'm with you on that. I want Will Howard. Honestly, man, to me, that's a kid that, let's just, God forbid something happens to Geno. He already knows what Chip Kelly wants out of his offense. He already knows what he wants out of his quarterback. I think Will Howard would be a great pickup there in the middle rounds if he's available. You know, he has the measurables, 6'4", you know what I mean? Like, he had over 30 touchdowns last year. You know, I'm here for it. I'm definitely taking a look at Will Howard. But if we pass up on a quarterback early, I'm cool with that. Get one in the middle rounds or the late rounds. But you gotta add another body to that room. You have to. Aiden's not the only guy that can be there in that room. You got to bring in another guy. Now, I don't know if you're gonna go late round because Will be gone. You know, Tyler Sheck will be gone. So maybe a late round guy out there that you could take a look at. Maybe a guy potentially a UDFA. I mean, we kind of went over the whole quarterback, you know, draft class, and there's some guys that potentially be UDFAs that you could bring in and fight for a spot. Maybe they keep Carter Bradley around, the kid out of South Alabama that we brought in last year as a UDFA. You know, maybe Immunity Rourke, the kid out of Indiana, is available there. Jeff says, wonder if Chip Kelly can fix Zamir. Jeff, the thing is this. I don't think that you need to fix him. I just think that you need an upgrade. I don't know. You can get better at the running back position. Even if you fix Zamir, I mean, what kind of running back is he? You know what I mean? Like, what's fixing Zamir White? A former 4th round pick, had a nice little stretch of games in 2023 at the end of the year where he had 400 yards rushing or something along those lines. I mean, honestly, what is fixing Zamir White? Just upgrade. Upgrade. I don't honestly know if he makes this roster. And to be real, if I'm a betting man, he doesn't. He's on a rookie deal. You could afford to move on from him. You got Dylan on a rookie deal going into year 2. You got Sincere McCormick, who's inexpensive as a UDFA that looked really good for us last year before he went down with an injury. So Tyler definitely was supposed to replace JJ. But honestly, even the best version of Zamir, I think you can upgrade there. And that's no knock on Zamir White. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but you can upgrade even from the best version of Zamir White in this draft class, even in the middle rounds, potentially later. Salute to Zamir. I hope he shuts me up, though. Jersey, I appreciate you, bro. Salute to my dog, man. That means a lot, bro. What's good, man? Love that Sacktown anthem. Fire. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Milrow is a project that we don't have the luxury to afford to gamble on unless he really falls far. Yeah, I mean, look, if he's there in the 3rd round and they take him, I'm not against it. If we use a 2nd round pick on Jalen Milroe, I think that can come back and bite us in the ass. But if he's there in the third and they're high on him, take him. But I don't know if he falls into the third round. I think the latest Milroe goes is in the second round. He'll potentially go to maybe a Pittsburgh Steelers or potentially, say, New Orleans doesn't take one early. Maybe they take a look at him in the second round. Salute to everybody here in the building. For those who are just joining before the damn show crashed, we were talking about all the visits in Henderson today, tomorrow, next week. Let me bring this back up. I got the list up here on Twitter. Once again, man, salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. Salute to Albert Breer. Put up the list of prospects. Let me see. Jackson Dart, Will Campbell, Quinn Ewers, Michigan defensive tackle Mason Graham, Ohio State quarterback Will Howard, Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty, Michigan outside linebacker Josiah Stewart, all in Las Vegas for the top 30 visits. Also, next week, Raiders will bring in Louisville quarterback Tyler Shuck, according to Adam Scheffner, and also Tashawn Reed put it out there that the Raiders are bringing in linebacker UCLA Carson Schweichinger, always butcher his name, on a top 30 visit as well today. Good in coverage. Had 2 picks last year, played under Chip Kelly from 21 to 23 out there at UCLA. So that would definitely fill a need there at the linebacker position as well. And then also, you guys, we talked about it earlier on the show. Shedeur Sanders will be visiting our Raiders next week as well. According to Jordan Schultz, Colorado running quarterback Shedeur Sanders is scheduled to visit the Raiders early next week. Las Vegas holds the number 6 pick in the draft. They have been doing work on quarterbacks and have other quarterback prospects also coming into their building. So stay tuned for that. Let me see. Top, you've been one, Jackson Dart. I ain't mad at you, bro. Salute to Ty. Zeus has no side, no peripherals. He's strictly downhill. No cut vision. Kind of like horses. And it's funny because Samir loves his horses. Put them blinders on, huh? Samir loves his horses. That was a bar right there, Ty. That was a bar. No peripherals. No peripherals. He said, I think Sanders at 6. AJ, look, I wouldn't put it past the Raiders, man. I'll tell you right now, Tom Brady has all the power in the building when it comes to the quarterback spot. I don't care what general manager, whether it's Spytek or the new head coach and Pete Carroll. I'll tell you this right now, you guys. If Shedeur is available at 6 and Tom Brady wants Shedeur Sanders at 6, Shedeur Sanders will be a Raider. So it's going to be very telling to see what Tom thinks about him at 6 if he is available. Regardless of how much Tom likes the pickup of Geno Smith. We all read the article the other day of them meeting up in Miami and, him praising Geno Smith and what he did out there in Seattle. I'm telling you now, if he's available at 6 and we take him, that is the Tom Brady special. That means that he really, truly believes in him. Salute to Sky High. This draft is running back deep, not quarterback deep. Why not get our quarterback of the future at 6? If we're expecting a 9-win season and even better next year, how are we going to be in position to draft the top quarterback? We ain't a Super Bowl team right now. Talk that talk, Sky High. And you know what's funny, man, is people aren't talking about this, but if you draft Shedeur at 6, right, that puts pressure on Geno. That's going to make him perform even better or melt under the pressure. Because they know, he'll know at that point, we have the future in the building. So, and take the world. You don't sit Sanders for 3 seasons at that point. You can essentially get out of Geno's deal next year. He'll probably be the quarterback for the next 2 seasons. And that contract is not so insane that he can sit for a year. And let's just say Shedeur beats out Geno in camp next year. Shedeur could be the starter next year. He could be. His contract is not so out the woodworks that you have to say, oh, no. Geno has to be the starter 2 years in a row. It's not true. It's not true. Geno will be the guy this year. And once again, I think people tend to forget that injuries happen, you guys. Injuries happen year in and year out. I know that Geno has been, healthy up to this point, and we're hoping, knock on wood, that he's good to go next year, and plays a full 17 games. But that's not to say that stuff happens. And once again, Geno knows he'll be 35 years old. He knows that there's a shelf life here, and eventually he'll be handing the football down to another guy at the quarterback spot. Kenny Pickett is a Cleveland Brown. I don't know. I see a lot of Pickett talk. He's a Cleveland Brown. He was just traded there. Tyler, I believe Luke Masterson is a free agent. And I don't think that we're going to bring him back. The former Wake Forest linebacker, converted safety. I don't think we bring him back. Yeah, Chiefs, facts. Having Geno, we're in position to take best player available at 6 with no regrets. And that includes the quarterback. Let me see. S-Dot going crazy in the chat. As always, I see you, my brother. Talk that Zamir White had vision in Georgia shit. Talk! Let me see. Did we? We had Robert Spillane. If everybody was out there crying that we didn't pay Robert Spillane $38 million, did we have the worst linebacker last year? Divine Diablo. I hear you. But you can't really say we had the worst linebacking core in football last year when you had Robert Spillane out there, right? Our defense was beat up last year. Immunity. Just beat the shit. I'm just excited to see these guys back this upcoming season. I'm excited to watch Christian Wilkins, man. I'm excited to watch Malcolm Kuntz. I'm going to see what these guys look like healthy. And once again, if that defensive line is healthy with Max back, Kuntz back, Wilkins back, that takes so much pressure off the second level of your defense. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have a ton of pressure if these guys can stay healthy. And that definitely helps those guys. It's going to help Landon Roberts. It's going to help Devin White or whoever we draft in this upcoming draft, or if it's Tommy Eichenberg or so on and so forth. If that defensive line can perform the way it needs to with all those big name guys, at least to us, the Malcolm Kuntzes of the world, the Adam Butler, the Wilkins back, that's going to take pressure off that second level of your defense. So it all starts with that D line. It all starts with Max. It all starts with Malcolm Kuntz, Wilkins, Adam Butler, those guys. It all starts with those guys. If they do what they're supposed to do, Landon Roberts is going to do what he does. Guess what? Great in the run game. One of the better linebackers against the run. That's his strength. Devin White, if your defensive line is doing a job, what is he at this point? He's a pass rusher. He's not going to be a sideline guy that's going to get it done in coverage for you and play the run at a high clip. He is a pass rusher. He's going to be a guy that can get to the quarterback as well. Still has a ton of speed, athleticism. He's just not that sideline guy. So it's going to be interesting to watch these guys, do their thing this year. But we will get a linebacker or two once again in this draft or as some UDFAs to bring in some extra bodies to compete there at the second level. Let me see. Michael, I'm not the biggest Jalen Walker guy. I know a lot of people like the kid out of Georgia, and a lot of people have him as a top 10, top 12 pick. Is there a ton of potential there? Definitely. He can definitely be a stud. He just kind of gives me like a Hassan Reddick vibes. That's kind of what he gives me. And I could be totally wrong. But he kind of gives me that Hassan Reddick vibes, where if you take him in the top 10, you're going to be like, damn. Like, yeah, he's productive, but do you want to take Hassan Reddick in the top 10? I could be totally off. He gives me that kind of vibe. Hassan Reddick kind of vibes. Let me see. Kid's nice. 800 facts. Out of Cal, dude's a stud. Definitely a stud. Love Ricky White out of UNLV. a guy that can give you real live reps as a special teams ace, and a guy that can go out there and give you a ton of production at the wide receiver position. Love it. Would love Ricky staying in Vegas and playing for our Raiders. That's that. Okay. Hot take. Devin White and Roberts are going to totally shut down the run game. The hot part is putting Devin White into that mix. I don't think it's that much of a hot take to put a Landon Roberts in there. He's one of the better running backs against the run in the NFL. But throwing Devin White into the fold, that makes this shit a scorching take. S-Dot, I'm here for it. Scorching take by S-Dot. I hear you. Caps, this is facts, man. Roberts is one mean SOB. Salute to the chat, you guys. Almost 1,200 people still rocking with me in the building. Let me get the hell out of here. Wife has some things to do here in the podcasting space. Got to get my sons, get ready for football practice. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history, as always. Love and appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you for all the commenters, all the non-commenters, all the super chats, all the non-super chat, all the people that didn't say a word, that just hit the likes and hit that subscribe button. Just thank you guys for pulling up as always. Tomorrow, Graphk and Wasted show. Stay tuned, you guys. We're going to do a full first round mock draft tomorrow. And I'm talking about every team. Graphk and Wasted and Graphk show tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Salute to Spivey on the way out. Guess what's your guess at a Raider record this year? I got to keep it, I was having fun the other day instead of saying 11-6 and so on and so forth. Just having some fun with it, right? If I had to state right now before the draft, Spivey, before the draft, ceiling of 9-8. Ceiling of 9-8. Now, if we have a great draft, a phenomenal draft class where we get 3 starters out of it, 4 starters, maybe we can get to that 11-6 rank. But right now, I got to be honest, that 8-9, 9-8, and that's because of Pete. That's because of Spytek. Brady and him and some of the coaching staff, the Chip Kellys of the world. That's the 8-9, 9-8 range right now. But I got to see what this draft looks like first. But once again, man, salute to all the Mob Fathers. Hug D's. Appreciate you, Top Beats, my brother CGR, Graham Cam, all my guys in the building. Appreciate you guys all for pulling up for that content. As always, love y'all. Appreciate y'all on the way out. Get those likes up, wipe them feet, and also hit that subscribe button. I'm outro. Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.